He was found dead in a hotel room. There was no struggle, no blood, and no signs of violence. But when investigators looked closer, they realized the truth was hiding inside the walls. This is the unbelievable true story of Greg Fleniken, the man who died from a bullet that no one knew was fired. September 15, 2010. 55-year-old Greg Fleniken, a landman from Louisiana, checked into room 348 at the MCM Eleganté Hotel in Beaumont, Texas. It was a typical evening for him: a cigarette, some candy, and the movie Iron Man playing on the TV, when he was discovered the next morning, lying peacefully on the floor. It looked like a natural death. He still had over $1,000 in cash in his pocket. Nothing in the room seemed out of place. The autopsy, however, painted a very different picture. Greg's ribs were shattered. His liver and intestines were torn. There was even a small hole in his heart. The confusing part: there were no external wounds. How could a man suffer such massive internal injuries, like blunt force trauma, without a single mark on the outside of his body? It was a medical and criminal mystery. Months went by with no answers. Then, a private investigator named Kim Brennan teamed up with Detective Scott Apple to take a fresh look at the case. And that's when they found it. Hidden within Greg's scrotum was a nearly invisible bullet entry wound. A wound so small it had been missed. They went back to the hotel and searched the room next door, room 349. There, they discovered a freshly patched up hole in the wall. Someone had fired a gun, and the bullet had traveled straight through the wall, through Greg, and out the other side. The truth finally came out. That night, in room 349, two electricians, Lance Mueller and Tim Steinmetz, were drinking heavily. Mueller was drunkenly showing off his 9mm pistol. In a split second of pure carelessness, he pulled the trigger. The bullet ripped through the wall and struck Greg as he sat watching Iron Man 2. But instead of calling for help, Mueller grabbed some toothpaste, patched the hole in the wall, hid the gun in his car, and simply went to sleep. 2 years later, in 2012, Lance Mueller was finally charged for his actions. He pleaded no contest to reckless and criminally negligent manslaughter and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. The judge described his behavior as willfully irresponsible. Greg Fleniken never knew what hit him, literally. A man just relaxing after a day's work, struck down by a stray bullet from a stranger next door. It was one careless moment. One silent shot that created a mystery that took months to solve. It just goes to show that sometimes, the most unbelievable crimes are hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as incredible as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more true stories you won't believe. See you in the next one.